Dave Nasty here. How you doing? Welcome to Next Level Guitar. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a song by a great band, and obviously from what you saw me do right there, we're going to do quite a bit of different stuff with it. So this is something that I came up with a while back, and I thought it would be fun to explain my thought process behind it because we're essentially using a lot of the same chords. So, hey everybody, how you doing? All right, you know what I'm going to say, and it's so important. That link that you see below in that YouTube text box, I want you to click on that link. If you click on the link that you see below in that text box, you're going to get some good stuff. You're going to get a free video lesson that's not available on YouTube. You're going to get a coinciding ebook. It's got all kinds of great scale diagrams, chord shapes, things of this nature. All the things you need in your everyday. All of this stuff is free, and all you got to do is just click on the link that you see below. The sounds that I like to emphasize within this, one of the chord shapes is going to look just like this. So we're going to focus, of course, with our root note being the D with our third finger. I have F sharp. I've got my open G in there, and then the D octave over here. I can put my A with my pinky on the high E string, and I can do a lot of variation within this chord, and you'll see me do this as we explain this. Maybe sometimes I'll take all that away and get that nice sound. That's a pretty cool sounding chord. Even if I have my pinky there. And I'm often going for that tremolo bar for that kind of ethereal, you know, Floydy kind of feel, right? And within this, I have some cool arpeggiation that I can do. And I can lead into this. In my mind, I'm thinking this is really feeling strong to E minor. It's another one of those chords that we might play, right? You can play this a couple of different ways. Essentially, I'm doing a B power chord here on the second fret, but I'm going to hit some open strings on either side of it. Pretty exotic E chord right there. So I'm going to really feel a lot of E minor within this. And so you're going to see some soloing maybe within the pentatonic scale up here. Just to kind of balance out the feel between playing some chords and maybe a little bit of lead. And I like to take that pentatonic scale and maybe play some of these notes here. Just to use a little bit of the pentatonic scale in that position. And that's all we kind of really need to think about. We have this really fun way to play a G chord. Basically a G major 7. I don't have my third until I get up to the second string here. That's going to be the first part of getting into this riff. I'm going to hit my low string, hit my D, I'm going to hammer, go to that G note, and then I'm going to fret the chord. Maybe arpeggiate. You see a little bit of play from that scale up there. All I did, keeping it simple for me. I'm just going to play through it and kind of get a jam on it. I'm going to go to a C major 7 chord. It's a really, really nice sounding chord. And from here, I might take that to that really pretty sounding G. As I said, I'm thinking E minor, and I want to try to blues it up as much as possible. But E is a relative minor to G, so within the key of G, that's where I come up with this C major 7. And I try to play that chord this way. And maybe I'll, play various C's within that. But I know C works great in the key of G, and that's going to be great with this, which is essentially a fancy way to kind of suspend a D chord because of where my root is, and I've got the octave of the D here. So it's a way to kind of spin it, but say, okay, I recognize it from a songwriting point of view. Maybe I'm not going to play the chords in the typical fashion I would in the open position, and I'm going to explore other options that I can do with it instead of something that is maybe not quite the song, but even closer to the song, right? We want to keep it so we're inspired, and we're not exactly doing that, but we're just learning from it. That's the most important thing. We hear a song, take some of its chords, and make it our own, and that's what we're working on doing today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, play out of that scale. I've already done one example of a lick. Now maybe I'll do a simple one that'll go... So I'll put that in context. So you can see, timing-wise, fitting it in there, it can be a little bit tricky when we go between these positions. And we have a huge jump coming from this position all the way to what we're relating to be our first position of pentatonic. That in itself is a fun thing to practice. And if you're comfortable with some of these other scale shapes in pentatonic, we have so many great videos on the site that demonstrate how to play in pentatonic in various positions from lots of good instructors. You can check some of those out and see what are some other ideas that I can do by being inspired by a good song like this. I think that's a good way to approach it as well. So let's talk about some embellishments that we can do within that first kind of suspended D chord that we're playing. It's so much like a regular C shape that I can do a lot of this kind of motion that sounds really, really cool. I'm striking that open D string, I'm hammering to the F sharp within the chord, and then just, you know, playing my way through the rest of it there. Third string, second string, first string. Hit that low string. It gets all dramatic. Right? We want those dynamics. Play a chord and try to play it different. I think that's kind of the moral of this story too. Makes you wish that you wrote that original arrangement, doesn't it? So thank you so much for checking this out. I think the main mission is we like to get lost and inspired by other people's tunes and maybe change them and make them our own. That's really the goal. So go to the website, everybody, nextlevelguitar.com. Really appreciate you checking it out, and I'll see you there.